Come on in, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. This is a late night one. Sometimes these things just come to me and I just want to jump on. That's the lovely thing about YouTube Live, that you can just come on when you feel like it. That's what it feels like to be free to do what you want to do. That's what it feels like to be able to go after your passion. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be a billionaire. All you got to be is financially free. That's it. That is the entire answer. You know what? The one thing I love about this channel, I keep using just simple examples to kind of give a person an idea of how I feel every single day. I try to give the easiest possible examples. You know, I say things like, if somebody wrote you a check for every single penny of your debt right now, I mean, mortgage, student loans, collections, every single, fine, back child support, somebody wrote you a check for it, right? How would that make you feel? And, for the average person, that would be like a weight off their back. It's just, they'd be like, oh my God, I'd be free. And when I say, that's what it feels like to have a net worth of zero, they look at me in shock. They're like, oh my God. And I'm looking back at them and go, oh my God, what? That's what it feels like to have a net worth of zero. Best version motivation says, I know you're a billionaire, Mr. Young. Yeah, in my mind. You're right. I'm envisioning it. Yeah. But I keep telling you, best version, I promise you, man, once you become financially free, you will clearly understand millionaire, the word millionaire, the word billionaire. Those are just words that people in debt equate money to. It's just a word. Once you're free, I'm telling you, you really don't even think about money. I really don't. People don't. I know people hear me and say that, oh my God, he's probably saying that because he's rich. And all I keep saying is regular math. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Now, here's the hardest part. All you got to do is believe it. If that's a large negative number, I mean large, right? That is your net worth in real life. Now all you got to do is believe it. That's the simplest way I could put this. I mean, I can't. This is why, I learned from Dave Ramsey, right? But I thought in my mind, I could simplify that even more. Because I take a look back at the real entire, I don't think about money individually anymore. I think about it collectively. None of this would work if everybody didn't participate in it. Everybody counts. Once you start thinking about money that way, you'd be like, oh, then it'll just all connect. But the only way you're going to see it is you got to pay the price. You got to get out of debt. It'll be 100%. Let me tell you guys something, okay? What I know today is not written in books. It's not. Because you wouldn't even know to go to read it. And I'm telling you guys to your face what it is. I'm using the math I learned in grade school. I applied it to my finances, and now I'm free. That's it. I keep telling people my age. I'm 50. I just turned 50 in December, right? This month, excuse me. And I know people my age are really not going to hear me. They're like, whatever. They're going to be stuck in their ways, believing credit is king and all that stupid nonsense, right? not even realizing they're so deep in debt, the only thing they can rely on is their credit score. That's the only thing they have left to say, I'm somewhat good in finances. That's the last thing. Not even realizing they're broke. Totally, totally broke. It's crazy. Debt is slavery. Willie Garcia says debt is slavery. Check it out. It is. And everybody has a price to their slave papers. If they ever want to be free, everybody's a slave unless they want to pay the price of their slave papers. And I paid mine by paying off every single penny of my debt. It's all gone. I owe nobody in the world nothing. When you guys hear me say that, right, you got to think to yourself, how many people around you today can say what I just told you just now? I make things so simple. Like I try to, first of all, everything I say, I can back up 100% with math, everything. So I will be never, ever wrong, ever. How can I make such a claim? Because math is on my side. Math doesn't lie. That's how I know. I keep saying it. Now, the younger people, I want you guys to pay close attention to the younger generation are just somehow gravitating towards me. They don't even know why. I'm telling you guys all, you know what? You know why? Because I'm just using basic math. That's it. That's it. I'm using basic math. All you gotta do, when you guys see me giggle like that, when I even say it, I'm laughing at myself. I'm laughing at myself because all I had to do to become a millionaire was use basic math, the math I learned in grade school on my finances, and I would have killed the finance game years ago. If the young people are listening to me now, especially starting in grade school, oh, you guys are the next generation millionaires. You know why? Because you'll see how it really works. Those of you that still don't believe me, I'm gonna give you a test. Okay, I'm gonna give you a test. If you are a well, you say you're a homeowner and you have a mortgage, right? You call yourself a homeowner, though you have a mortgage. You logically understand that you could have not purchased that house without the bank's money, correct? That means it's not your house, it's the bank's house until they get all of their money back. How come you still believe you're a homeowner? Why do the majority of the population believe it's okay to have a 30-year mortgage? And that's only if you don't refinance your house ever. How many times you hear a person refinancing their house and refinancing their house? And why do you think they're doing that? They're in debt. That's why they're doing it. For some reason, they believe they own the house. It doesn't make absolutely any sense, but math will clearly show that they're not. Why do they still believe they're homeowners? That's part of the system. That is. B City says, did you look up Ben Maha? No, I have not. I have not. Jaws 203 says, one of the reasons I want to pay off my car, looking to do that very soon. You know what? Hey, Jaws, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I'm gonna tell you something how it looks outside the debt matrix that I'm sure you never even thought of when buying a car, when financing a car. I guarantee it. Okay. And this is just a few things, okay? When you step on the car lot and they run your credit, they go by your gross income. Money that you're not even going to get. You're not even ever going to see that money, but yet they're basing your car payment on that. That doesn't make any mathematical sense at all. You're already underwater, upside down in this car, and you haven't even got the keys yet. Then you go sit down for 8 hours at a dealership to buy one car. That they only do that to people who finance cars. I would never wait 8 hours to buy one car, especially with cash. They only do that to people who finance cars. No one gets the finance car on sale. Nobody. Yet people walk away believing they did. I don't know why they believe that. That doesn't make any sense, especially if they're financing the car for 72, 84 months. Why do people still believe they got the sale price? Because they live in the debt matrix. That's why. It makes absolutely no sense. And check it out. Since they didn't have the money to buy the car, that very the reason why they're financing the car. If they don't have the money for the car, guess what else they don't have the money for? The taxes. They're financing taxes too. They're getting like double tax and don't even know it, and you still ain't got the keys in your hand. And then after all that, then you finally go back and forth with the guy behind the magical wall that has the magical monthly adjustment powers or something. They be going back and forth. Nobody's back there. Okay, they only do that to people who finance cars. How do you know out of your three credit scores, they're not picking the lowest score so they can charge you the highest interest rate? The only thing you're thinking about is the word approved. You're not even caring what they're doing before they get you signed on the dotted line. Don't even know it. And then at the end of the deal, you shake hands with them and take pictures with this depreciating object with interest. Take pictures with it. Drive around town, get an 84-month car loan, and then drive around town telling everybody how much you got this car on sale. No, you didn't. Nobody gets a finance car on sale. Nobody. That's why these millennials are going to become the next millionaires, the next billionaires. Because financing a car is one of the worst things ever to do in your life. And I financed several. I laugh at that today. I mean, like, oh my God, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that. Don't ever say, let me tell you guys something. Don't ever say you're making car payments out loud, just ran nilly-dilly, because everybody in a debt matrix says things like that. There's a few of us that are around you when you say things like that tell us you're broke. If these new millennials, I'm telling you guys, I'm straight up, I'm not even joking. These new millennials take on to what I'm teaching right now, they're going to run stuff right in your face. And it's not even hard. I'm telling you, all they have to do is use basic 5th grade math on your finances, and you will be free for the rest of your life. Our carp says, was that Vietnamese food good? It sure was, man. That's my new spot. That is my new spot. These new millennials, man. Ooh, you guys have no idea when I tell you this. If I had known this stuff when I was 20, oh my God. Once you get outside the debt matrix, let me tell you guys something that you don't even see. If you've been in debt all your life, let me tell you something else that you don't even see. It is dangerous to be broke. Very dangerous. Once you get out of debt, I'm telling you, it's very dangerous to be broke. Very dangerous. You are so exposed. You have no idea how exposed you are. In many ways. In many ways. But let me tell you guys something, okay? I want you guys to clearly understand something. The system is feelingless. It doesn't care how you feel about it. It's there. It works. You come on this side of it, you'll see it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. It is what you make of it. I promise you. You can this is the power these new millennials are going to have. Let me tell you something. All they have to do, if they ever want to, and if you guys are listening to this, millennials, I'm gonna tell you something that is very, very powerful, okay? And don't you ever forget this. Don't ever forget this. Anybody you decide to go into business with, financially, business wise, always ask to see their personal credit report first. Never skip that. I don't care what they look like on the outside, what the house is like, how many cars they drive. If you see fancy paintings, all that is depreciating stuff. Don't even look at that. Ask to see their personal credit report first. You know why? Because if they've been in debt all their life, they don't know they live in a debt matrix. They have no idea the language of debt free even exists. And I promise you, it is a different language. I keep trying to tell you guys how easy it is to spot. I could walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, man, why are you financing that cell phone? You know that's financially horrible." They'll look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, I can afford the payments. If you were standing next to me, like imagine you standing next to me, right? And I'm talking to somebody that had just financed a brand new whatever phone that comes out that year, and I'm saying, "Hey, man, you know it's financially bad to finance cell phones." He'll look at me and say, "Oh, man, ain't no problem. I buy one get one free, and the payments are small." And then I will turn to you and look at you and say, that's why you can become a billionaire, because that's what the majority of the country, that's the majority what they think like. Best Version Motivation says, LJ, someone today told me that they are a homeowner and a car owner. I asked, did they have the deed and the title? They said, no, they make payments. I did not burst their bubble. Exactly. See, like that. You see that? Best Version. You see that response? They don't know what they're saying. This is why you can become a millionaire and billionaire right in front of them without them even knowing. You can get a nice car. You don't have to get nothing extravagant, just a nice car. They're going to automatically think you're making car payments. Totally not even understanding that you bought the car for half the price from somebody like them in debt and credit trouble. They have no idea. People believe they are homeowners with 30-year mortgages. How in the world did the banks do that? I have no idea. Not me, my problem. It's part of the system. It must be that way. Willie Garcia says, I wish I would have learned this in my 20s. Better late than never. Everything I have, I own. No liens, no mortgages. Wow. No mortgages, no financing. I'm free. Now you hear, I want you guys to read that what Willie just said. Read that. That's the language. That is the language. You can't fake that. That cannot, what Willie Garcia said right there and the way he said it, that cannot be faked. Because if you've never done that, you have no idea the feeling that he's trying to express in those words. You have no idea, but I can read it. It can't be faked. You have to literally pay off all your debt. You literally have to even understand the feeling of financial freedom. You have to. You're going to ignore all the people saying you rent same as mortgage, and you have no idea the people who's telling you guys that. You have no idea. Some of these people on these channels, on these YouTube channels, oh my God. People trying to get you into mortgages at 3.5% down. That's FHA. That is big, bad, and horrible news. And people do it every day. Believing they're homeowners, believe in it. This is why millennials, if you're listening, all you have to do, number one, get out of debt. As soon as you get out of debt, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm trying to tell you right now, justify with mathematics. Everything I'm saying is true. You're not really a homeowner if you have a mortgage. Is it true? According to math, yes, it's true. Now all you got to do is believe it. Everything to do with math, you got to believe it. If you believe you'll never pay off your student loan, you might as well forget about it. You'll never know what we're talking about. You'll never know with Willie, myself, you'll never know what we're talking about ever. You can't. It will be mathematically impossible for you to ever know. That's why it cannot be faked. Soon as you treat your finances like a business, everybody you go into finances with, ask to see the personal credit report. It will not lie to you. I promise you. It will tell you everything you need to know. You will clearly see if they disrespect their own money or not. You'll see it. And never forget, if they disrespect their own money, you think they're going to treat your money any better? No, they're not. They don't even know how. How do you know? Their credit report. Their credit report tells you. Who cares what excuses they have? It doesn't matter. Jaws 203 says facts. This is why after I pay this one off, I want to pay cash for any future cars. Jaws 2003. Next time you buy a car, you save up cash. Look in the paper. 85% of Americans are in debt. One of those guys are going to give you the car that you want for half the price with cash because why? They're in credit trouble. Never ever. Blue book value of any car from now on, when you have cash, no longer applies to you. Blue book value of anything no longer applies to me. Nothing. You know why? Because the majority of people are in debt. They will take what you have. Why they want to save their credit or whatever finance thing they're thinking of in their head. It really doesn't matter. Don't ever do that again, ever. Best Version Motivation says, in the last video I sent you, the car dealer said they look at a thing called an auto score. They probably do. People don't understand that credit is designed to keep people confused and in debt. When you get out of debt, you wouldn't care what kind of credit score, any company, FICO, auto score, Vantage. You're not going to care about any of that stuff because that's not going to be part of your world unless it's benefiting you. Once you get out of debt, your passion will come to you. How do I know? Because this is what I'm doing right now. Once you get out of debt prevents you from seeing and hearing the correct people. Once you get out of debt, the correct people are not hard to hear anymore. You can see them. You can tell by the way people's stuff won't matter to you. Everything will be a thing. I don't care how big their house is. I don't care how famous they are. I don't care about what kind of car they drive. It means absolutely nothing to me. Why? Because I have no idea how they bought any of it. I have no idea. So why would I be impressed with something I have no idea of? And everything, again, once you're out of debt, everything is relative. If you believe red bottoms cost $1,000 or $1,500, you just believe that. That's it. It's nothing more than that. I promise you. If you believe a presidential Rolex costs $25,000, you just believe it. It doesn't mean it doesn't make it is, or it doesn't mean it is. It really doesn't. It's just what you believe. The people that are going to pay the price for a presidential Rolex are the people that believe that's the price. Not because they have money or not. Those are the people that believe it's the price. That's irrelevant of money, having money or buying it on credit. That's 100% irrelevant. If you believe it costs that much, you just believe it costs that much. I don't. Doesn't mean I can't afford it if I want it, but I just don't believe it. I don't believe one watch costs that much. I just don't believe it. Or purse, or Gucci purse, all that stuff. It's just stuff. I try to prove this to people too. Hey, I said, hey, why don't you go in there and buy a Gucci purse, right? Bring it out. Don't even open it up. Leave it in the package, leave it unsealed, and then go try to sell it for that same price yourself. It's still brand new, right? Yeah, you should get the same price. You won't. You know why? Because you believe Gucci said it's that price. And once you take it out of the Gucci store, people say, "Oh, it ain't from Gucci, it's from you." Okay, it's a different price. See, that's because that's what you believe. Even if the person said, "Hey, you know what? I didn't even touch it. It's brand spanking new," they'd be like, "I don't care. I'm not paying that much money." Why not? Because that's not what Gucci said. Best Version Motivation says, also, gap insurance in some states is mandatory on a leased car. I bet people don't know that when they lease a car. Check it out, Best Version. They only, I promise you this, man, they only offer gap insurance for people who's upside down in cars. I've never in my life been offered gap insurance, ever. Even when I was financing cars, ever. Because I was never ever upside down in a car. I even though I didn't know financing cars was horrible in the first place, but I knew not to get upside down in a car. I said, okay, I just feel weird paying more for something than what it's worth. This was just a inclination in my brain, right? So I just never let that happen. But no, that did happen one time. No, that happened one time. But you just it's just great. That's who they offer gap insurance for. But the people that get gap insurance offered to them, they don't know why it's being offered to them. Because I swear to you, man, I don't know how. Listen, I don't know how it's legal. I don't. This is hilarious when I think about it. I don't know how it's legal for a car dealership to take a car that the person is upside down five, six, $7,000, right? And then they roll it into another car because if somebody's upside down and that much in a car and they're trying to buy a new one, it's obviously a person that doesn't manage their money well. That's a given right off the bat, right? I swear to you, right off the bat, they know you are horrible with money because nobody that manages money well would ever do such a deal like that, ever. They roll all the negative equity into the new loan. You already pretty much upside down in the first loan, and them even offering that to you, they are, well, you drove on a car lot like that, so you automatically knew. So, well, you didn't know, and then they rolled in it. You so far upside down in the new car. Oh my God, how is that even legal? And then on top of their regular insurance, they got to pay for gap insurance, pay for, they got to buy extra insurance for something they caused. This is just so bad. It is so bad. And people don't even see it. It is crazy. Millennials, grade schoolers, you guys been jumping on here. I promise you, you guys want to be rich? Do the opposite of the majority and you will be rich. Trillions in student loan debt, pay yours off, don't get it, pay it off right. I mean, I'm not even saying never get a student loan. I'm saying if you decided to get one, make sure you get a degree in a relevant job in today's times that's going to pay you the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time, right? As soon as you graduate, land that good job, you pay that student loan off every single penny. Right away, right away. You don't finance nothing. You don't buy anything. You go back home and live with mom. You pay mom the rent because it's still worth it. You just don't even offer it. Make it automatic from your bank account. You don't even want them to ask. You just want to be in their account right there on the first. Paying off your student loan before you leave the house. Check it out. Before you leave home will catapult you ahead of 45 million people who are in student loan debt. That will immediately financially catapult you ahead of all of them without them even knowing it. They won't even have a clue. Trillions in car loan debt. Don't ever finance a car. That move alone, because all those people financing cars, guess what they're doing? They're financing it. They're financing the taxes too. They are getting double taxed and have not a clue. You could tell them to their face. Tell them to their face, hey, if you finance a car, you finance the taxes too. They will look at you like you said something like you were an alien from another world. They'd be like, what are you talking about? And I'm gonna tell you, millennials, that's why it's called phantom income. They can't see it. It's only invisible to those who are in debt. They cannot see the real purpose of the 401k. They can't see it. They think it's the match. They think it's their company's investments of the 401k. That's what they believe. The real savings is the taxes, the $19,000 they could put away every single year. But since they're in debt, they cannot afford to take advantage of something that is right in their face and they can't even see it. I've been working all my life, didn't wake up till age 40, and I didn't see that. I didn't even see it. People bragging about borrowing from their 401k. They be bragging about that stuff. Oh yeah, I could pull out 19,000. Are you saying that out loud? Are you insane? They can't hear me. That's what I want to respond to somebody that does that when they say, "Oh yeah, I can pull out this much." I was like, "Man, you are saying that out loud? Are you crazy?" Bless up, Hyphy says, "Bless up, LJ chat." Pawn vacation, but listening to jog in my brain. Cool, man. I appreciate that. I love it when you guys listen to me in the car. That's why I make sure I'm reading right when I read people's comments. Lottery Guru says, Linnell, does this method work for everyday 9 to 5 worker, blue collar worker? I have a cousin who really needs help with his finances. Lottery. This will work for anybody. Anybody. But this is the hard part, Lottery. They have to believe mathematics. If they don't believe mathematics, it'll never work. Doesn't that just sound so simple? It is. It is that simple. All you got to do is believe math. This is what you got to tell your cousin. Add up all his savings and then add up all his debt and then go savings minus debt equals how much money he has in real life. Right here at this part. This is the crucial part right here. This is the part he has to believe math. If he doesn't believe math right here at this point, it will never work. Ever. Ever. It'll never work, Lottery, ever. This is why there are 15% of us who are financially free. We can see this stuff. And when we're not doing anything spectacular, nothing. I'm not telling you guys I'm bragging. I'm not saying I'm sent from another planet. I'm the guru of the month. Yeah, I learned from an ancient pyramid. No, nothing. I'm just using math. That's the only thing I'm using is math. That's it. Lottery. It must be this way though. This is the hard part. When you get out of debt, this is what you're going to have to accept. Okay. If the majority of the people didn't believe what they believe in, the whole economy would crash. It would stop. If everybody knew not to finance cars, the whole car industry would go out of business. They would go out of business because that's where all the money comes from. They must believe that. And I know you guys, some of you guys are thinking, wow, you're just saying this out loud. It doesn't matter that I say this out loud. I keep telling you guys this. I'm telling you guys what it is. It's just mathematics. You guys still see people don't believe me. They're like, it's not that easy. It's not that black and white. I keep saying it is, but they don't believe it. That's how I know it doesn't matter what I say. That's why the younger people are gravitating towards me. I know why. Once they know, right now, they probably don't even know why they're gravitating toward me. Once they figure it out, it's mathematics, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, it doesn't matter." They're probably looking at me like, "Why is this old dude? Why am I gravitating towards this old dude? I'm in my 20s. He's just turning 50. You know why? Because math is timeless. It doesn't care about your age. Math is timeless. It doesn't care what century it's in. It doesn't care what decade it's in. It doesn't matter. It's the only thing that stays consistent throughout time. That's it. I'm actually right now, I'm telling everybody how to become millionaires. Easy. It's not hard. People make it complicated. It's not. First of all, you want to make some leeway? Stop financing stuff. Stop using credit cards. Stop. If you don't think you can, oh well, I guess you can't. It's just that straightforward as mathematics. You're like, oh man, I can't just cut up my credit cards. I need those for emergencies. You know what I say? Okay. You just told me you're never going to be free. You're going to be a slave for the rest of your life. Especially if you got student loans right now and you don't believe you'll ever pay off your student loans. I got some bad, bad news for you. I bet you thought slavery was dead. It's not. Debt is the colorblind slave master. It doesn't care your color, if you're gay, straight, short, tall, black, blue, Chinese, Jewish. It doesn't care. Debt doesn't care. It's the colorblind slave master. So don't get caught up on those things, those images. It doesn't care. And student loan debt is only second to IRS debt. I know it doesn't seem like it. I know you're probably walking around calling it a forever loan and all that stupid nonsense, but I'm telling you, it's only second to IRS debt. I can only imagine how many people are locked in their careers that don't even want to be there, but can't stop because their student loan debt is too high. They can't stop. Like imagine being a doctor. And this is just coming to me, you guys. Imagine being a doctor and you're practicing and you make an X amount, but you haven't even touched your student loans, right? And you start getting to a point to where you don't want to be a doctor no more. You can't even change. You can't even switch because you're gonna be locked in there and be like, whatever job I get, it has to make as much money as I'm making now. How many jobs do you think a doctor's gonna find making the same amount of money they make today? Not that's in a different field. They're not. So they're trapped. And then they open up this student loan forgiveness programs. Those are slave camps for people who are in debt. I know it's harsh to hear. Doesn't matter if you can see it or not. Those who don't look at it that way, they'll never know what I mean is saying. So that's why I'm able to say this out loud. Only the people that get it, right? That's the place where you work these certain rules and you got to stay at this certain pay for this many years, and then they'll forgive you at the end. And then guess what? As soon as they forgive those loans, and some of them, then the IRS is going to be waiting for you. You're not getting out like that. You're not. You guys better just stop thinking like that, because you're not getting scot-free. That's not happening. Why do you think when you get student loan debt, they don't care what you're spending on? People don't even stop and just think about that. How come they don't care if I just spend this student loan money and not even on school? I'll buy some tires or loan some to my friend. I'll invest some in the stock market, because you guys are the ones breaking the rules. It doesn't matter anyway. You're going to pay back every penny of that debt, or else you're going to be a slave until you are dead. That's why they don't. That's why they really don't care. Some of these student loan forgiveness programs are like 10 to 25 years, and people accept it. Doctors accept this. Pharmacists accept this. Now they're trapped. They're trapped. Can you imagine how many people, and not just, I'm not even picking on just the high paid workers, right? Just any workers. Imagine being trapped in a career that you cannot stand anymore. You know something else that you would love to be doing, but it's not going to be making the money you're making right now, so you can't even do it. So you got to stay someplace where you hate for the next 20 or 30 years. Hell to the no. Those people don't even know they trapped themselves. They are the ones keeping themselves there. They are the ones why they're in that traffic. In that car, that car that's in them in the traffic with them right there, they're making payments on. That's why they're in the traffic, because they're making payments on a car. That's why they're there. And everybody around them, they see everybody has the same face, fighting, crashing, doing all that. And then and then they just pick you off by opening carpool lanes, make it, oh my God, it just gets so horrible. They do people in death so, oh my goodness, it's so bad. It's so bad. Millennials, I hope you guys are hearing it. You won't have to do none of the stuff I did. You will never take a job that you don't want to work at. You'll never make them feel like you should be working off the clock, getting called after hours when you know you're not supposed to be called. You won't allow any of that. No way, Jose. You would never allow any of it. When you work off the clock, you're working for free, giving away the time in your life for absolutely free. You will never do that again. I promise you. I hope you guys even hear the tone of my voice, because I think back all the years I worked as a computer engineer, I can't even count the amount of hours I gave away for free. I knew something was wrong, but I felt I couldn't do anything about it. You know why? Because I was in debt. I needed that check. I remember many nights waking up when I wasn't on call, getting a call anyway, staying up 3, 4 hours, and I knew when I woke up, I was like, man, this doesn't feel right. I get called even when I'm not on call. What's the purpose of an on-call rotation? Didn't make any sense. But I did it anyway. You know why? Because I needed that freaking check. If I was in debt, oh no, that would have never happened. I'd be like, hey, I didn't answer that phone. Hey, we tried to call you, Linnell. I'd be like, why you try to call me? I ain't on call. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, we expect, oh, you do? Oh, you're going to double my salary then. That's what you're going to do. That's what I would have said. No, you're not? Okay, then don't call me when I'm not on call. If this is you right now, if this is you, the story I just told you, if this is you and you giving away the time in your life, answering emails, texts, anything work related after hours, you are giving away the time in your life for free. You know why? Because you're in debt. That's why you're allowing it. When you signed up to the job and they said, and what if they would have turned to you and said, hey, yeah, by the way, for this money we're gonna pay you, we're gonna own 24 hours of your life. You would have been like, what? No, you're not. Oh no, no, nobody. But now that you're in it and you start relying on that money, guess what? They got you now. And I guarantee you this. If you're working for $1 million, $1 billion company and you got out of debt and your whole attitude changed, they would notice. Believe that. The people that understand money, they will see it and they will have a place for you that you never even knew existed in the company. You'll never even know. These type of positions, these are not announced. I promise you, they're not. They're not announced. You either know this or you don't, period. And I'm talking finance related. But once you've, well, no, it's outside of finance because you go to work, you're going to be a totally different person. You're not going to be, you're going to work your hours, you're going to leave, and you're not going to let them pay for your phone. You're going to get a separate phone. So just in case when it's you're not, I wouldn't tie my phone to the business phone. I would get two separate phones. So just in case when I'm not on call, the work phone stays at work. There's no reason for me to bring it. And there's no reason for me to get a call because that's not what I signed up for. But yet I allowed that because I was in debt. I couldn't do this if I was in debt. If I was in debt, I wouldn't have been able to afford to quit my job and start doing this full time. Because the last job I was making 160. I knew starting this new venture, this new savings minus debt, I knew it wasn't gonna break out the gate making six figures right away. Because I knew I was doing something totally different. I knew I was doing something. I'm my close friends and family, some of them don't even believe me. That's how I knew this was powerful. Something I can prove with math. I could prove it. Prove it to people that know I love them and they still didn't believe it. That's how I knew this was my passion. That's how I know. If I can go up to a loved one and say, hey, I just discovered something. It'll change your life. I love you, right? Yeah. I'm not trying to rip you off. Yeah. Just do this and you'll be free. They're looking at me like that's stupid. That's how I knew this was my passion. So if you're a stranger and have become my client, I want you guys to understand something that is powerful. And not saying that because I'm some guru again. I'm just saying you understand what I'm saying. You understand that I'm just using mathematics. So when you come see me, that's why you're coming to see me because I've made it simple using basic math that we learned in grade school. And what I do is I put a plan together and I say, look, Follow this plan. Those are the numbers. This is what's going to happen because it's all mathematics. And once you get here, you'll be free for the rest of your life and you'll see it. You'll be like, oh my God, I didn't see that. Yes, exactly. The majority of the US don't even see it, 85% to be exact. Beat City says 15% of 327.2 million Americans is like 50 million out of debt. Yeah. And Beat City, this is what I'm teaching and sharing. This is generational. This is just not you. I promise you, once you get out of debt, this is what's gonna be like. It's gonna be generational, but only to those of your family that will listen. Okay. You keep training enough, it'll just naturally carry because once you're out of debt, I promise you, you're never going back into debt. You're going to see how cheap it is to live in the world when you don't have any debt, right? Then you're going to naturally pass this to your kids. If they don't listen, you're not going to give them anything because you're going to know they live in the debt matrix. And if you give your money to them, they're going to spend it in the debt matrix. So there's no reason to leave it to them. You could leave somebody in a debt matrix $5 million. They'll be broke in a couple years because they live in the debt matrix. Hyphy says, if credit cards are your safety net for emergencies, you are in emergency, you are in an emergency currently. You sure are. If you have credit cards as emergency money, you are in credit trouble. You are in credit trouble. You are in debt. Because you probably hang around people that say the same thing. I'm telling you, as soon as you hear the word everybody, if somebody says to you, hey, everybody has a credit card for emergencies, that's where you need to key into on that person that says, no, they're talking about themselves because everybody would apply everybody in the United States. And I'm here to clearly tell you that is not true. So as soon as you hear them say everybody, remember they're talking about themselves too. That's who they're really talking about. They believe everybody, including them. Because people that manage money well would say, no, that's not true. Credit is a tool, credit card's a tool. It's nothing more, it's something you can just use and you're going to pay off before the end of the month anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just like I look at a credit card as a security feature. So this way I can go buy things at many different stores. I don't have to worry about the security, credit card security getting hacked and all that other stuff. I don't have to worry about that because they'll just get my credit card and not my debit card. You know what I'm saying? So it's just convenient so I can rent cars and hotel rooms. It's just a tool, nothing more than that. I don't need it. You know, like Best Version Motivation been sending me some good videos, and I'm gonna do this next one too. This leasing versus buying a car. I want you guys to, when you guys watch me critique those videos, you know what? Let me think. Should I do it now? No, it's an hour long. No, that video is too long, and it's late at night. I can't do that one. But I'm gonna do that one. Best Version Motivation because I like it because I like that. I want to hear and like I said, I don't really watch the whole video first. So because I want you guys to watch it, as I see it, because I don't want you guys thinking that I watched the video first, so I was ready, so I could practice, so I could actually write down and see the things they say or that are correct or incorrect. No, the only thing when I listen to videos, right? Only thing I'm listening to and seeing if they're speaking debt or debt free. How do I do this? If their math makes sense, they're speaking debt free. If their math doesn't make sense, they're speaking debt. It's really that's how I determine when I watch those type of videos. You know, sometimes sometimes people mix business and personal. They'll be switch swapping, and they're not supposed to do that. But people in debt, they don't know they're moving back and forth between business and personal. They don't know they're doing that, so they just automatically assume it must be personal or something like that. Who knows? But that's what I point out. Yeah, I'm telling you guys that These people are getting younger and younger reaching out to me. And if you're part of the SMD family, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We got some t-shirts coming out soon. My first t-shirt is going to be, let me just, it should be here in a couple weeks, right? My first t-shirt is going to say on the front, Google hashtag savings minus debt. Because when you Google hashtag savings minus debt, I'm the only person that comes up. Okay. So you don't even have to tell them I'm on YouTube. You just say, hey, they'll just see that on the front of the shirt. They'll be like, what is that? What's that? And then on the back of the shirt, it's going to say what's scrolling along the bottom there, savings equals your money in real life, not the savings minus debt equals, but on the back in words, it'll say equals your money in real life. This is going to get people to just kind of think, like, because they can't really get upset at Google this and savings minus debt is just math, right? And then look on the back, it says equals your money in real life. It's going to make people think. So those will be out soon. And then I'm going to put those up on my website and tell people where they can get them up in the broom. But if you guys got any questions, you guys can ask me questions during this. Sometimes late at night, I just be speaking my mind sometimes. Yeah, you know what? It'll get there. Right now, I'm Life for Business says, brother, I hope you trademark SMD. Right now, I'm just a small fry. I will. I got the domain name, and I don't try to put the cart in front of the horse, because sometimes when you do that, you come out in business and you start worrying about all the safety stuff. You kind of get in the head, because right now I have to concentrate on just getting people to trust me. Because if people don't trust me, they're not going to buy anything. So it doesn't really matter how my name is or my website or whatever, right? People buy from whom they trust. So once the more and more people start to trust me, then I'll start worrying about that kind of stuff. Willie Garcia says, folks, what I mentioned earlier took a lot of work and sacrifice. Didn't want to give the impression that it was easy, but anyone can do it. I'd love for everyone to be free. You know what? And Willie, I want to say something, right? I don't know how long you've been financially free, but I just want to say this to you, Willie, okay? You're going to get to a point to where you're going to just stop apologizing for how you feel. Like, hey, sorry, didn't want to give this type of impression. It doesn't matter how they feel about it. It doesn't matter. If you feel the way you feel about it, this is why I started this channel, because it doesn't matter if they get upset about me getting debt free. Yeah, do you want to know? I can teach you. No, you don't want to learn? Okay, well, I'm gonna keep saying it loud and say it the way I want it without any apology, because anybody can do it. And I'm same way with you, Willie. I want everybody to be free. I want everybody to feel this, but I always say this, Willie, it cannot be that way, because the system is designed for the majority of the people to be in debt. It is designed to be that way. I mean, whoever designed this, well designed. Here's something that is right in front of everybody's face, and yet they don't see it. Somebody designed this. Somebody, some family, somebody put this together. It is a masterpiece. Because if everybody knew what we knew, Willie, there wouldn't, like I said earlier, there would not be anybody to finance telephones, cars, shoes, tires, furniture, blenders, washers, dryers, dishwashers. It would be nobody left to finance that stuff. It'll be nobody else left believing they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages. None of those would exist anymore. That would cease to exist. And imagine this, Willie, this is on the conventional mortgage. I'm not even talking about the people with FHA mortgages. I'm not even talking about them. They're so far from home ownership, they have no idea, especially if they're refinancing their house over and over. They have no idea. They are nowhere near becoming a true homeowner. They have no idea, but yet they're walking around. See what I'm saying? Yet they're walking around calling themselves homeowners. Nunez says, I owe money to two different credit card companies. I think I might be in collection. Is it worth paying back? If so, how should I go about it? Yes, you must take care of that. All right, you must take care of that. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. That number right there, if it's a large negative number, Nunez, that's the price of your freedom. This is where the hard part comes in. Now you have to believe your own math. That's the hard part. I know I know it sounds like a joke. I'm trying to be funny. Right here's the point where you have to believe your own math. If it's a large negative number, you got to believe in, like, whoa, I'm worth nothing. Yes, you're worth nothing. How are you going to change that? When? Starting today, tomorrow, 10 years from now? When are you going to change that number? Because if you don't, you will be a slave for the rest of your life. So you call up the collection company, since I don't know how long they've been in there. You didn't say, but if they've been in there for years, you got some negotiating power. You just call them up and say, hey, I know this, say like the bill is 500. You say, hey, I got 250. Will you take it? They're going to take it. You might go back and forth a little while, but they're going to take it. If they don't take it, you go, okay, cool. I'm going to go down to the next collector, see if he'll take my money. They're going to stop you. They're going to say, cool, I'll take it. And you say, okay, before you take it, you make sure you have it in writing. Don't give them access to your bank account. You put it on a prepaid debit card. You say, okay, 250. Once I get that in writing, that you're going to remove it from my credit report and bloggity blah, whatever, all the terms. And you say, cool, okay, here's the numbers, pay it off. Then you're good. That's how you take care of it. And never let that happen again, because having collections is not normal. It's only normal to those who are in debt. Never forget that. This freedom, I want you guys to understand, especially if you're new to my channel, this freedom is not free. Everybody has their own price. It's up to you if you're going to pay it or not. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Again, here's the hard part. Now you got to believe your own math. That's it. Once you believe your own math, say, oh crap, I better get from the negative to the positive. Cool, you'll be free. That's how it's no, it's not easy, but that's the only way. There is no other way. No vehicle outside of you is going to get you to where you're thinking you were trying to get to. No stock market investment, no house that you think is an asset, your business, whatever. It's none of none of that is the answer. You're sitting on the answer right now. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Get rid of that and you will see everything I'm talking about. The wealthy are not mean, they're evil, they're not hoarding any money. That's all debt speak talk. Only people in debt say things like that. Once you get out of debt, you'd be like, oh man, you can be and make as much money as you want. Yeah, there's billions. You see one person making billions, you think that tells you how much money's out here. Oh, duh, that was obvious. Yeah, it's obvious. Millennials, I hope you're listening. Because if not, I got grade schoolers listening to me now. You don't want them passing you up. I promise you, it's going to be easy for them too. Easy. If you're in your 20s, it's not too late. If you're in your 30s, it's not too late. If you're in your 40s, you're getting there. But you reach my age of 50 and you still ain't woke up. If you at my age and been carrying your student loans for 30 years, that is biggity bad news. I'm telling you, that is bad financial news. Let me say that again. If you're my age and you've been carrying your student loans for the last 30 years, you are in deep financial trouble. Deep. And now you're getting out of your prime working years. That's dangerous. Student loans cannot be bankrupt. You know what that means? Student loans cannot be bankrupt. Do you know what that means? Those student loans will be with you until you are dead if you don't pay them off. I mean, dead, dead. You'll be paying with your Social Security checks, your retirement. And just think about this. You'll be paying it with your retirement, but check this out. Listen, and I want you guys to listen closely. Listen. Add up all your savings. Add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to put in retirement every week, every month, every whatever. Let me say that again. Add up all your savings. Add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to put in retirement. If that's a large negative number, you haven't been putting in anything. Absolutely nothing. Who says this? Mathematics says this. And now I know you're thinking, what do you mean? I can see it in my account. I know that's what you think. Even though I'm telling you it's not true. You're like, yeah, wait a minute. How can I put negative dollars in a 401k? You can't. I keep telling you, get to the account and see some money there, right? That's because you believe it's there. That's the trick. Now, I know you're probably struggling. You're like, I know his math is right, but I don't get why I believe the money's there. I keep telling you that's the trick. That's how the system works. It's in your face, but you don't even see it. That's how it works. People think they have money in retirement, have no idea they are flat broke. They have no money. If you have never once maxed out your 401k, and when I say maxed out, I mean the $18,000, you're missing out on so much money. You have no idea how much money you're missing out every single year. You're missing out on so much money. That's called phantom income, okay? It's only phantom to those who are in debt. It's mathematically impossible for them to ever see it, ever. And I'm gonna just say this to you guys, okay? If you don't believe you'll ever be out of debt, you will never, ever, ever know what phantom income is. You will never know it. How do I know this? Because it will be mathematically impossible for you to take advantage of it. So why would you bother to know? Why would you bother to know something that you can never use? It doesn't even make any sense. You're like, oh, it's never going to happen for me. So you're never even going to think about it. That's why it's phantom to you. I actually feel for people like that, man. I really do. I feel for people that have totally 100% given up on ever paying off their student loans. I really do feel for those type of people. Because it will be 100% impossible for them to ever know what it's like to be financially free. Ever know what it's like to be a millionaire, you know? I'm not even a millionaire, but I know I'm gonna be. And again, that's not bragging. You know why I'm saying it? Because I trust mathematics. That's it. That's how I know. Everything starts with you. Everything. People in debt believe it's something outside of them. Nope, it's not. It's you. Once you're out of debt, nobody be able to fool you with financial scams or MLMs or get fast schemes like Bitcoin and stuff like that, saying, "Oh yeah, the banks can't do this and it's extra coded and this." Okay, whatever. If that's what you want to believe it. It's totally up to you. You can believe in Bitcoin if you want. Believe it. Whatever. This is what I believe. I believe if somebody came here and created, it's like this, you created your own country with your own money, are you going to let, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. Not, at least not while I'm alive. I'll never know 500 years from now, I'll be dead. Nobody be able to fool you ever. And you know what my secret weapon is? This is going to be funny. This is going to be so funny to you guys, right? I just asked to see their personal credit report. That's it. That's my weapon. Not their credit score, their entire credit report. That's my weapon. They can't lie about that. That's tied to, think about it. That's tied all the way to your social security card, right? Now, good luck changing your social security number. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Your credit report will be tied to your social security number. So anybody you do business with, you say, hey, we're going to work up this contract. Okay, just we're going to make sure your social security number really matches this, and we can agree to look at each other's full credit reports every 6 months. Oh yeah, I put that all in the contract. That all goes in the contract. Because you'll never know when somebody financially falls off. But if I'm in business with them, I'll hear that. I'll hear them fall off. But I guess if I'm in business with them, they will already know. So never mind. That will probably never happen. But I still would write that in there just in case, because it's not 100% proof. But you know, I would write that in. Hey, you can look at my credit report every 6 months. I get to look at yours. All right, cool. We can write that in there. But if it's not with that, I'll be like, nah, Because a lot of people, I promise you, people in debt, there's a lot of people out here fooling you guys. There's a lot of people. Some I can tell they know, but some I think some of these people, they just know a little more than you. That's why they're able to do these things, to take your money. You know, they're just a little bit smarter, but I don't know if they're in debt and they're just, because they probably can't see, even though they're making a lot of money, they're probably still in debt. So they believe they're somehow more than you because they have bigger, they have a more expensive car with a bigger car payment because they're making more money, but they don't realize they're still in the debt matrix because they're still making payments. Even though it's a bigger car, it doesn't matter. That's why they will go broke fast, right? It's just, the debt matrix is big. It's big, man. It's really big. It's really, really big, you guys. But I promise you, once you get out, I promise you, I can show you the way. I can. I promise you, anybody that comes to me, I promise you, I can create a plan for you. I promise you. The only part you're going to have trouble with is this: believing your own math. Even though your math will match my math, it's going to be hard for you to believe it. That's if you can get over that hump of believing your own math, you'll be free. I can help anybody. I promise you, I can help anybody. And once you get over the fear like this, I know finances are very personal and they're intimidating or whatever, right? If the best way I can do it is get you guys to trust me, right? And then I want you to understand that that's just a feeling. Once you get over that hump of taking these finances so seriously and personally, once you get free, you'll stop doing that. You won't tie yourself to feelings in your money. You'll never do that ever again. Under any circumstances, you'll never do that. Because you'll know feelings have no place in that. So once you get over that hump and you come to me and reach out to me, there's my email. Let me throw up my website here so you guys can you just go to my website, type in book free consultation, right? Just throw it in there and set your own time. Please make sure to, at the top, make sure to put in your time zone. So I'll know, so it'll convert to my time, because I'm in East Coast time zone, because there's been a little bit of confusion on a couple of clients. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Come to find out the time zone wasn't being selected. And if they lived on PST time and they put 11 o'clock their time, it would show 11 o'clock on my calendar, and it was just a big mess. So I think I got that straightened now. As long as you choose the time zone, and then it'll come to me and we'll just start talking. Free 30-minute consultation. Okay. I hope you get over that hump. You feel like you messed up. You should be further right now than in your life. Oh my God, all these collections, that's just all part of it. Those are just your feelings. You got to get over that part. And you come to me, I won't make you feel dumb or for not knowing something, or this is the SMD family here is, I want you guys to understand, when you come in here, you can ask any personal finance question you want without being made to feel like you're dumb for not knowing something, okay? Or not knowing a word, or you've been renting all your life and all this other stuff. You got to be very careful on the people giving you that type of information. You got to be careful of that. This place, you'll feel comfortable, and especially when you talk to me, because a lot of people talk to me, they're kind of surprised, or they think I'm not surprised, but kind of intimidating, I guess. But it's not really that I'm trying to do that. It's more of it's just mathematics. So I just get straight to the point, All right, you guys, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you for participating. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for another great just coming in here listening to me talk, because sometimes I get in the mode to do that and just talk about what goes through my mind sometimes. So you guys have a wonderful night, wonderful Friday night, and until next time. All right.